I really like the Kung Fu Panda series. I mean, I really, really like the films. So when I saw Kung Fu Panda 3, I'm gonna jump at any chance to watch this film because just I love it. I love it. DreamWorks is doing a great job with Kung Fu Panda and How to Train a Dragon. Welcome, guys, to Think About It reviews. Now the question is, what's there to think about? Take your kids to go see Kung Fu Panda 3. This is directed by Jennifer Yu Nelson. It is starring Jack Black. J.K. Simmons is in this. But not only J.K. Simmons, but Bryan Cranston, Dustin Hoffman, Angelina Jolie, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he's really not really in it. Seth Rogen, Lucy Liu, David Cross, and Kate Hudson. Of course, the music is by Hans Zimmer, which had beautiful music for Kung Fu Panda 3. I've actually owned a soundtrack, and I really do love the music for this series. But Kung Fu Panda 3, what does this... Kung Fu Panda 3 basically takes... If you've seen the trailers, Po gets reunited with his long-lost dad, or his dad gets reunited with Po, his long-lost son. Of course, we had the sequel to explain what happened in that whole situation, how Po got separated from his parents. And we go into this one where he gets reunited with his parent, his dad. We have a new villain on the rise named Kai. Kai is also voiced by J.K. Simmons himself. He was a brother in arms of Master Oogway, but he's here to just destroy Oogway's legacy, so to speak. So Po has to stop him, yet reconnect with his father and learn Chi. Now, Chi is that inner kind of chakra, that inner kind of strength. Like, it's somewhat, you could say Chi is the Force, honestly, if you're a big Star Wars fan. So going into this, I'm like, I love the first Kung Fu Panda movie. I thought it was fantastic. And then the second one was good, but I felt like it still wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, even though it had some great elements in there, had some great stuff in there. So Kung Fu Panda 3, going into this, and after this sequel, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be about him, his father, and the pandas. So the panda villages, the remaining pandas, and I'm pretty sure I had a certain viewpoint, a certain thing, anticipation, a certain definitely. I thought there was going to be something to do with that whole storyline. It went a different kind of route though when I was watching this film, and I'll be quite honest with you guys. When I watched the very beginning and then hitting that to the second act, I thought it was, so far my mindset and how I was feeling, I felt like, okay, I'm enjoying this, but to me this is not really a film per se. It felt like a really, really great episode of Kung Fu Panda, like the series. And then it feel like there wasn't, I know they wanted that element, that message where Po has to be the teacher, and he has to learn Chi, and he sucks as being a teacher to the Furious Five, but I just felt like starting off, it just didn't feel like an overall journey. It didn't feel like he was gonna really necessarily. It just didn't feel like a sequel. It didn't feel like it was surpassing the first one or even the second one. It felt like a really, really good episode of Kung Fu Panda. But as we kept going and we kept having some of these emotional just impacts, these emotional moments, especially with him and his father, the animation for the martial arts is always top notch, especially with the Kung Fu Panda series. The comedy actually really hits really well. There was a lot of times where I laughed quite a bit, and even though there is jokes in there that they're kind of overdoing it a little bit, it actually it flowed very, very well. I thought overall the jokes, it hit, the jokes worked, and if you can make me laugh and it's a kids movie and hopefully they make the kids laugh, I think you score big points. I thought, it's not a very long movie. I believe it's an hour and a half. The pacing was great. The villain, I wish the villain, just like I had a problem with, I think the first one, not necessarily. I think the villain was a little bit weak in this one. And I think the ending fight was not as, it still doesn't, the second one in this film still doesn't reach the potential of the first ending fight that Po had. So I felt like the conclusion to this film wasn't as strong. It was a great message, but I felt like it could have been done a little bit better. That fight could have been done a little bit better. Some of the fights could have been done a little bit better. I think the first Kung Fu Panda and the second one really took it up a notch. Where this one, great, great use of the environment, great use of items and stuff. But I felt like it still could have been just a little tad bit better done. But my God, like the animation's beautiful. The music hits all the right spots. The characters are fun. Poe's dad Lee is actually, Bryan Cranston. He really brings, it's just a voice acting, but he really kind of brings something to the character. A lot of, even Angelina Jolie's Tigress, she brings a lot to the character. And that's another downfall for the film, is that the Furious Five always had to take a back seat after that first one. The second one, they had a little bit to do, but not really anything, honestly. This one, it's the same. They're kind of in the back burner. Yes, they have a little bit moments here and there, but you don't get anything from really too much from Monkey or Viper. Tigress, she's the main one, and it's great to see her friendship with Poe really grow. And I really like Tigress in here, but I felt like we needed a little bit more Tigress. We really needed a little bit more Furious 5. And if they ever do commit on making a Kung Fu Panda 4, I think you have to make Poe kind of in the back seat. As much as we love Poe, I think his story, this really felt like a conclusion. I don't know if they're going to make any more films, but it kind of felt like it's done. It feels like the series is done, and which is great. I think it set it off pretty good. I just feel like if they do make another one, the Furious 5 needs to really they have to establish themselves in the next film, because in this film they're hardly ever in it. I did like the overall what Kai's abilities were, but I felt like Kai himself, like his jokes were okay, they're fine, they made me laugh a little bit, but I felt like J.K. Simmons was kind of he wasn't used as much as he should have been used. This character Kai had a cool little backstory, had could have been definitely a better villain than they portrayed him in this film. I think I had a little bit. I can't go that Kung Fu Panda 3 was the best out of the two because of the lack of the villain. Of course, the Furious 5. I think I like this film a lot more than the second one. I think it was a little bit more funnier, a little bit more heart to it, even though the second one went a little bit darker and a little bit more emotional in that one. But I felt like it was great to see Poe's dad, his adopted dad, the geese dad. I thought Mr. Ping, I thought he was great. I love Mr. Ping. I love Mr. Ping and his relationship to Poe. So, his goose. I mean, like I said, geese. His goose. I love, it carried on from the second one to this one, and how much, he's worried that Poe doesn't see him as his father. But we see this in this one too, where he has to juggle, his stepfather and his real biological father, Lee. And it's great to see those two communicate as well. And you have a great emotional moments between those two, and you have great humor between all three of them. So I really did enjoy that aspect to it. And of course, Poe learning how to be a panda. I really love that as well. So a lot of great stuff in this film. There is some, like I said, some negativity towards it, some criticism towards it, but you're going to get that. But for a film and for kids, I think they're going to really enjoy it. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I think this was the best. I think I would rank Kung Fu Panda, the first one, of course, number 1, and then this one, number 2, and then the second one, actually number 3. As much as I did like the second one, I just felt like it just kind of it was missing something. It lost its way. And same with Master Shifu, who's played by Dustin Hoffman. I felt like Dustin Hoffman has been put into the back burner as well. So you lose a lot of characters, you gain some characters in this film, but overall, did I enjoy it? I enjoyed the hell out of it. I really laughed through it. I really just enjoyed everything that was surrounding me. Of course, there's those criticisms, but I think I highly recommend you watch this. I really liked it. For a January movie, yeah, it came out this weekend. January movie, it was the best January movie you could get. And it was really, really great. I'm definitely I'm going to see this at least one more time. I really did like this film. And I really like the Kung Fu Panda series. So if they don't make any more, that's fine, but I'm game for a Kung Fu Panda 4. So, and right now it's doing great. The box office is doing fantastic. It's really blowing up right now. So they released it from China. China went number 1 in China, went number 1 in the US. So all great things for Kung Fu Panda, and all kudos to the voice actors. Even though you could probably put anybody in the voice acting of these characters, I think they do bring out something, especially with Jack Black and Poe. Really love him as Poe. Tigress and Angelina Jolie. You hear it from it, and of course Heisenberg as his father. I really thought that was great. So I think kudos to the team who did Kung Fu Panda. I think this is a great series. So that's what I say. I recommend it. I recommend you guys go check it out. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, just hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it, and comment below. I have more movie reviews on the way, so check out all my videos on my channel. And like I always say, grab a tick, grab a seat, make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema. Bye guys.